Hi, this is a video on the HUAWEI Selfie Stick Tripod. Now, this is a selfie stick that I bought off eBay for $13.97 and it's made by HUAWEI. And just before we have a look around the box, this is a selfie stick that has to be plugged into your phone. So it's not a one that uses any kind of power from a battery or a built-in battery to it. It needs power from your phone to operate it. Now, it's difficult to see, so I'm going to bring this up close to the camera because of the writing on there. But as you can see, it's from HUAWEI and it's a tripod selfie stick. We have a picture of the tripod selfie stick on the front. And at the bottom here, we've got that it's mechanical button, tripod, aluminium rod or stem, and it's from HUAWEI. On this side, we just have the official HUAWEI sticker here, which is a QR code. When you scan it, it shows you other HUAWEI products and also a manual of the item itself. It is black, and you do get them in black and gold, but Amazon only sells the black one, not the black and gold. On the back here, we got it in other languages. Looks like probably Indian or Pakistani. I'm not quite sure. If you can correct me, then please correct me down in the comment section what language this is. We have some English language up here. Oh no, not even English language, neither up here. So there's no English language apart from where it comes down here. And the model number is the AF14. And we have a bit more text here. And on the side here, we have some different languages all the way down the side. Only the top one is in English, and I'll bring it closer to the camera so you can read it. It says, ensure that the volume button is set as the shutter button in the camera settings. Fasten the phone to the selfie stick. Insert the cable into the headphone set jack. You can now take selfies. Use the tripod for camera mode such as night shots and lighting and light bit paintings. So that's the only bit of English that's there. The rest of it's all in foreign language. This is how the selfie stick looks like. Now I have to say, on first touching this, it does feel quite good. I'll give it that. It does feel a bit of quality in there, especially the rubber on the end here for the feet, but we'll just go around it anyway. We have the HUAWEI branding here on the selfie stick, but just before all that, you get a little safety information booklet written in several languages, just basically how to use the item and how to not misuse the item. So that's what you get in there in the box. Now, as I said before, it does feel quite good in the hand. This selfie stick, the dimensions of it is quite compact. So it's quite a compact selfie stick. It's a tripod, and we'll open it out. It has this kind of C-shape mount, and it has rubber here along the bottom here and rubber at the top. It's spring loaded, and we have a storage space here for the 3.5mm jack to go into your phone if it has the headphone jack or the dongle that comes with your phone. So we have that. We have the button here. Nice clicky button for the shutter, and we have the legs of the tripod stand. Now one thing I have noticed just by opening up these legs is that these legs are they're made of a thick plastic, so it's not too flimsy, but there is no actual resistance in the leg whatsoever, none whatsoever. So there's no resistance in the leg, so they literally close down quite quick. But on the other hand, looks like there's a magnets placed in each of these legs, because as you bring the legs closer, they clip in together, and as you can hear, I'll bring them in, see, they snap into place, but not by friction, it's by the magnets that are in the legs at the top. So that in one way you get a bit of a trade-off there. They might not be solid going out or any resistance, but they clip in, which ain't too bad. Pity that the actual handle of the legs themselves on the sides don't have any of this kind of rubber to the sides to give it a bit more grip, but as I says, for this kind of price, this is what you can expect. This is metal, by the way, right round here, so that's metal, so that's good. And at the top here, we actually get a thumb screw here to tighten down the phone holder, so that's great. So we have a thumb screw there. The only thing is that the actual mount here holds your phone in landscape. It cannot go into portrait, but we'll come across that later on in the video. Now, here's the length I'm going to give to you. Now, in all my videos about selfie sticks, I always say this: I do not take the overall length of a selfie stick, which the manufacturers quote, because your hand is going to be on the handle and you lose some inches there, and the phone loses some inches there. So to me, the true length is between the bottom of the handle here and the top of the handle here and the bottom of the phone mount here. So between these 2 points here, this selfie stick is 11 inches long. That's how far it extends out to. Now, with this selfie stick, one thing I like, it has this kind of light purple grey. I know it's hard to pick it up on the camera because of the lighting, but it's a light purple grey, well, gunmetal grey colour, and it has these these black accents where the plastic meets the metal along there, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad. It kind of looks quite nice actually. And the stem itself has a groove or indentation down the middle at the front and at the back, so that's great. So it's very, very sturdy. Even though it's 11 inches long, it extends out to, it's very, very sturdy in how it is. So I like that. That's quite good. Now, as I says before, this phone, I like this kind of mounting system up on here. What I mean by the mounting system is it uses as you can see, a thumb screw here. So that means you can lock this down. So even because this is plastic against plastic, eventually it would wear down, but you can always tighten it up, so which is quite good. That gives it, to me, longevity in usage, because you're not relying on plastic meeting plastic and being clicked into place, or an actual screw that's been placed in there and you can't get at it. So that to me is quite good. The next thing is, as you noticed here, and I'm using my iPhone SE as an example, what I always do on these selfie stick shoot videos, you can plug this directly into, if you've got a, I'll take that out, if you've got a opening for a 3.5mm jack, you just simply plug that into there, because this works off the power. I'll close that down. The shutter button here works off the power of your phone, right? So there is no battery in there. There's no battery. There is no internal battery, and there's no battery to place in there. It works off the power of your phone. So that's what it needs. Now I'm going to test if you can hear the shutter button. Now, with certain with certain selfie sticks, the shutter button mutes the sound of the selfie stick. Now I've got a funny feeling this is going to mute the sound, so I'll press it and you should see a picture come up here on an iPhone to show that the shutter's working. So I'm going to press it and there's the picture just appear there. Now I'm going to put it in video mode and that circle should turn to a square when it's recording. There it is. So that's recording. That stopped recording. And as you can, can't hear, it has actually muted the sound of the shutter button. So be aware of that. You will not hear, especially if you're taking photographs, you have to really look at the screen when it takes a photograph to know that it's taken the photograph, because you won't hear the sound. So just be aware of that. Now, a drawback with this selfie stick is it only holds your phone, and I'll put that, it only holds your phone in a landscape position, as you can see, like so. Now, if you want a portrait, you're going to have to turn the whole selfie stick like so to get portrait. It is not one of them ones where this actually turns. It's fixed at landscape, so you're going to have to turn it if you want portrait mode on your phone. So just be aware of that. So that's a bit of a drawback with that. Now, normally in my other videos, I normally will have this on the floor, but because of the size of this particular selfie stick tripod by HUAWEI, it is not that big. It's not that big, so I've put it on this little small table to show you. It's personally, this to me is not really for outdoor use as a selfie stick tripod, because one, the actual base here is very, very small. I think if I spread my hand out, my hand, I don't know if that's picked up on camera, but my hand is actually wider than the base of these three legs are sitting on, that it occupies. It's actually bigger. My hand is bigger than that. So for outdoor use, I would say I would not use this particular selfie stick tripod for outdoor use, only if you're going to have it as a selfie stick and you're holding it in your hand, because it's just really small. But for indoor use, on top of a table like you've seen here, or a desk, or just a sideboard or anything like that, it's quite good for that. I'd give it that, because of these rubber legs that it has on there. It is quite good, and because of the height, it is quite sturdy. Now, one thing I didn't mention is this can take up to the large phones. My wife has a Note 10, I believe she's got, and it fits into there no problem. So all your big iPhones, your big Samsungs, they will fit in here, and your LGs, just in case. Any of your big phones, smartphones, it will fit in here. And the clamp phone mount up here is really good. It's very tight. It holds your phone in very tight. And I just love the rubber, what they put around this. They put a lot of rubber in this clamp, so that's quite good. Now, this is my 2p worth about this selfie stick tripod by HUAWEI. For £13, it is not bad. I have to say, it is not bad. First of all, I'll come out with the advantages with this. First advantage is you don't need to charge this up. So like with other selfie sticks that have their own built-in battery, you have to remember to charge it up, and you only get a certain amount of usage out of it before that battery runs down. And with other selfie sticks that use a coin cell battery, if you forget to change coin cell battery, well, you're stuck with that. So with that, this one doesn't require any kind of power, it just uses the power of your phone. So in one way, it's quite good in that respect. So that could be an advantage and a disadvantage. Another thing I like is the complete rubber that it's got around the mounts, the phone holder. Other than the anchor ones, I think, and the M-Pals, which have complete rubber around them. The rubber on this is quite good, and the actual mount itself with the spring-loaded mount here is quite grippy, so I give that. That's really brilliant. Another thing I like is the thumb screw. It's got a nice, decent thumb screw on there, and to make your adjustments, and that is brilliant, especially for something costing £13, because others of that price just have a screw in there, which is just absolutely useless after a while, because it does wear down. Plastic against plastic, it will wear down after constant use. So at least having a thumb screw on there, that's brilliant. The build of it is good. I'd say for this price, it is good. It's not rubbish, it's good. And I like the magnetic, even though the feet are haven't got their own kind of resistance here, but this kind of clipping in with the magnets is also quite brilliant. I like that a lot. I've not seen that, I have to admit, on selfie stick tripods, literally under 20 quid. It's normally the ones over £20 have that kind of thing, if they got them in there. So I think that there was one more tripod that I did review that had magnets at the bottom, but I can't remember offhand which one it is. And another thing I did like, which I noticed, even though you take the stem out, if you notice here, and I'll try and get it into shot. If you notice here, the stem here has its own casing, which is quite good. That is absolutely unique. I've not seen that on a selfie stick tripod. Even on the expensive ones, when you put the selfie stick down, the stem down, the stem actually is there and you can actually see it. But this one, I'll try and it's got its own casing there. So that's quite brilliant. I like that from HUAWEI. That's good thinking, that is. So the casing, the stem's got its own casing in there. And the next thing is the plastics this is made up of. It's made up of good quality plastics. So it's not, for its price, it's not cheap plastic. It's good quality plastics for what it's made of. So that's another good thing. Now the disadvantages. First disadvantage, which is going to be plainly obvious to most people, is because it's wired like that in. If you have got the latest phones, I think it's from the iPhone 7 upwards, the Samsung S8, maybe the S8 upwards, I'm not quite sure. Please correct me in the comments below if I got that wrong. I think it's from the S8 upwards. They no longer have a headphone jack, so you're going to have to bring your dongle. So that's something you have to bring with you. So that's a disadvantage, having this kind of system on there. So as I said, it could be a plus, it could be a minus, depends how you look at it, but that's one of the disadvantages, if you want to call it as a disadvantage. The other is because the mount on the back holds your phone in landscape position only. When you want to do portrait, you're going to have to turn the whole entire selfie stick like that. So that's a bit of a disadvantage. But to some people, they don't mind that. So that might not be a disadvantage to some people. And other than that, I would say one more thing would be, it would have been good if they put a kind of finish on the legs here that gives you some grip. Because the diameter of the actual item is not too bad, the actual selfie stick is not too bad as a diameter, so you tend to have a good hold of it. But it would have been brilliant if they put some sort of finish on the actual legs, or put a rubber coating on the actual outside of the legs, or just a kind of pattern on there to just to give you some extra grip, that would have been brilliant. But it is what it is, and it's not too bad. It doesn't feel cheap, I give it that. It does feel more that it's worth more than £13.97. It does feel that. It's more like a £18 item. It does feel like that. As I said, there's quite some weight to this, so even without your phone on there, so that's good. So that's my 2p worth, which I forgot to mention, about this selfie stick. I think if you're going on holiday, whether it's abroad or at home, it's not a bad selfie stick to buy. So this is one of the ones not bad to buy. I'd say if you bought it with that £13, you won't be disappointed with it. Especially if you've got a phone with a jack on there, you won't be disappointed with this. And I like how you can store away the jack, so you won't be disappointed spending your money on this. Now, if you got the HUAWEI selfie stick tripod, please leave a comment down in the comment section what you thought of it, because your opinion might be different to mine, just to let others know. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Please subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.